Welcome to Road Ready Recaps. Are you looking for a concise and full overview of Tennessee Comprehensive Driver License Manual 2025? You are at the right place. Let's begin. Section A, Chapter 1, Your License. This first chapter explains who must obtain a Tennessee driver license and the many license classes available. Use it to match your driving needs with the correct credential and avoid costly mistakes. Determining which class of license you need. Tennessee issues separate classes for passenger cars, motorcycles, commercial rigs, and even hardship cases. Your required class depends on vehicle weight, passenger capacity, and whether you haul hazardous materials. Choosing the proper class up front saves you extra tests, fees, and possible citations later. Who needs a Tennessee driver license? Anyone who lives in the state more than 30 days, works here, or qualifies to vote must hold a Tennessee license. New residents may drive on an out-of-state license only during that initial 30-day window. Operating a vehicle without the proper Tennessee credential invites fines and possible suspension. Class D license. Covers standard passenger cars, SUVs, light pickups, and vans up to 26,000 pounds gross weight. Applicants must pass vision, knowledge, and road tests. Drivers under 18 follow graduated license steps. A Class D cannot transport hazardous cargo, 16-plus passengers, or operate as a school bus. For hire endorsement, Class D plus F. Required when driving a Class D vehicle for your primary employment, taxis, delivery vans, or shuttles. Applicants must be at least 18 or 16 in a family business, possess 2 years unrestricted driving, and pass a special test. The $4.50 add-on bridges the gap between private Class D driving and full commercial licensing. Class M, motorcycle. Needed for 2 or 3-wheeled cycles over 125 cubic centimeters. Smaller engines qualify for a limited M endorsement. May be issued alone or combined with another class, e.g., DM allows both car and motorcycle operation. Off-road ATVs cannot use public highways except to cross perpendicularly at 90 degrees. Commercial driver licenses, Class A, B, or C. Applies to combination rigs or single vehicles over 26,001 pounds, buses, and placarded hazmat carriers. Class A covers tractor-trailers, B covers large straight trucks and buses, C covers smaller hazmat and 16-plus passenger vans. Drivers must study the separate CDL manual and meet stringent federal medical and testing standards. Learner permit, Class PD. Available at 15 after passing vision and written exams. Holder must drive with a licensed adult 21+ beside them. Permit is valid for 1 year and must be held 180 days before road testing for an intermediate license. The PT class mirrors the vehicle class you intend to earn. Most new drivers start with Class D. Class H, hardship license. Issued at 14 to 15 only when a family hardship requires the minor to drive for essential needs. Applicant must mail documentation, gain state approval, and then pass all standard tests. Use is restricted to daylight hours and specific routes listed in the approval letter. Identification licenses, ID only. Expiring IDs serve any resident needing official photo ID but not driving privileges free after age 65. Permanent IDs are free for individuals with certified mental or physical disabilities preventing driving. All ID applicants must meet the same proof of identity and residency standards as drivers. Penalties for driving without a license. Operating without a valid license is a Class B misdemeanor carrying fines up to $1,000 and 6 months jail. Simply forgetting the card is still a misdemeanor, punishable by a $2 to $50 fine. Driving while revoked, suspended, or canceled triggers harsher penalties and possible vehicle seizure. Who is not required to have a license? Active duty military in government vehicles, farmers on equipment, and non-resident visitors with valid licenses are exempt. Students in approved driver training courses may operate under instructor supervision without a license. Exemptions end after 6 months for foreign managers or technicians working in Tennessee, then a state license is required. Who is not eligible? Persons with suspended or revoked privileges in any state cannot be licensed until reinstated. Applicants medically unfit to drive, lacking required insurance proof, or withdrawing from school before 18 are denied. Failure to provide lawful presence or residency documents also renders an applicant ineligible. Temporary driver license, TDL, and TID. Issued to residents with temporary legal presence. License classes are prefixed with X such as XD or XM. Expiration aligns with federal stay dates and never exceeds 5 years. Holders enjoy full driving privileges of the underlying class, but must renew each time status is extended. Other driver-related topics. The DMV counter lets you join the organ donor registry and add a heart symbol to your license. Honorably discharged veterans may display a veteran label after presenting Deed 214 proof. Motor Voter allows you to register to vote during any license transaction. IP facts clarify it is only a translation booklet. Chapter 1 Summary. Securing the correct Tennessee credential and knowing its limits keeps you legal, protects public safety, and spares you steep fines. Next, we'll tackle the documents you need to bring and how to sail through the application process. Section A, Chapter 2, Applying for your license. Ready to trade your permit for a Tennessee driver license? This chapter walks you through the paperwork, tests, and fees, step by step, so you can sail through the application on your first try. Gathering required documents. Bring one primary proof of identity and date of birth, e.g., certified U.S. birth certificate or passport. Show proof of U.S. citizenship or lawful permanent/temporary presence if not on the identity document. Present proof of full Social Security number, such as an unlaminated SSN card, W-2 or 1099. Provide 2 separate proofs of Tennessee residency issued within the last 4 months, paper or electronic. Name and Social Security consistency. The name on your Social Security record must exactly match the name on identity documents. If you have changed your name through marriage, divorce, or court order, bring original certified copies for each change. Visit the Social Security Administration first when correcting or updating your name to avoid delays at driver services. Vision screening and knowledge test. All first-time applicants take a vision check. Corrective lenses worn during testing add a lens restriction to the license. The computer-based knowledge exam covers rules of the road, signs, and safe driving practices. Correctly answer 24 of 30 questions to pass. Study the Tennessee Comprehensive Driver License Manual and try the online practice quiz before scheduling your test. Scheduling your road skills test. After passing the knowledge exam and holding a permit the required time, schedule the skills test online or by phone. Arrive 15 minutes early with a registered, insured vehicle in safe working order, lights, horn, tires, seat belts. Only the applicant, examiner, and interpreter, if approved in advance, may ride during the test. Graduated driver license, GDL, milestones. Learner permit, Class PD at 15, supervised driving only, must log 50 practice hours. Intermediate restricted, Class D at 16, passenger and curfew limits apply for 12 months. Intermediate unrestricted at 17, restrictions lifted after a year of safe driving, converts to regular Class D at 18. Fees and accepted payments. Learner permit, $10.50. Intermediate restricted, $24.50. Full Class D renewal, 8 years, $28. Add $2 processing fee for credit/debit cards, cash, check, or money order accepted without surcharge. Retest fees apply after a third failed knowledge or skills attempt. Avoid by studying and practicing thoroughly. Real ID optional upgrade. Beginning May 7, 2025, a Real ID Golden Star or passport will be required for U.S. commercial flights. Apply for Real ID at no extra cost during any issuance or renewal by presenting the full identity, SSN, and residency bundle. If you skip Real ID, your not for federal identification card remains valid for driving, but not for airport security. When you cannot apply. Outstanding suspensions, revocations, or cancellations in any state bar issuance until resolved. Applicants who withdrew from school before age 18 without a diploma or GED are ineligible under attendance law. Failing to carry required auto insurance or pay court fines may place a hold on license issuance. Chapter 2 Summary. Arrive with proper documents, be test ready, and schedule wisely. That's the formula for leaving the Driver Services Center with a brand new Tennessee license in hand. Section A, Chapter 3, Intermediate Licenses, Under 18, Graduated License Procedures. Tennessee's Graduated Driver License, GDL, program builds safe habits by adding privileges in stages. Chapter 3 explains every requirement and restriction for teen drivers progressing from permit to full license. Learner permit, Class PD recap. Available at 15 after passing vision and knowledge exams plus parent/guardian signature. Supervised driving only. Licensed driver 21 plus must ride in the front seat at all times. Maintain a clean record and log 50 practice hours, 10 at night, on Form SF-1256 before upgrading. Intermediate restricted license, age 16. Hold learner permit at least 180 days, complete the 50-hour driving log, and pass the road skills test. Curfew, no driving 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. except to work, school, or church events with signed letter on file. Passenger limit. 1 passenger under 21 unless accompanied by a supervising adult or the passengers are siblings. Accumulating 6+ points in 12 months triggers mandatory driver improvement program or suspension. Seatbelt and cell phone rules. All occupants must wear seatbelts. Driver responsible for enforcement. Handheld cell phone use and texting are strictly prohibited. Hands-free only in emergencies. Violations add points and restart the 12-month violation-free period needed to advance. Intermediate, unrestricted license, age 17. Driver must hold the restricted license 1 full year with no traffic convictions and no at-fault crashes. Curfew lifted, passenger limit also ends, but safe driving habits are still expected. Any violation resets the clock. Another 12 consecutive clean months are required. Advancing to regular Class D, age 18. At 18, an unrestricted teen license automatically converts to a regular Class D on the next renewal. If under 18 but completed 12 clean months on unrestricted, driver may visit a service center to upgrade early. Pay standard duplicate fee and present proof of school attendance or graduation, SF1010 form, if under 18. School attendance and SF1010. Students under 18 must present a valid SF1010 verifying satisfactory attendance before any license issuance. Dropping out, expulsion, or 10 consecutive unexcused absences triggers license suspension until reinstatement letter is issued. Homeschooled students need a letter from the local school district confirming satisfactory progress. Parent/guardian responsibility. Signing teen applications accepts joint financial responsibility for crash damages up to statutory limits. Parents may withdraw consent any time in writing. The teen's license will be canceled. Supervisors should model defensive driving and track practice hours honestly to build lifelong skills. Penalties for violations during GDL. 2 seatbelt or cell phone violations within 12 months suspend license for 90 days. Street racing, reckless driving, or DUI convictions suspend driving privileges until age 18 plus 1 year. Court-ordered traffic schools reset the violation-free period and may add insurance surcharges. Chapter 3 Summary. Follow each stage's rules carefully. Clean records mean quicker upgrades and lower insurance costs. With the GDL roadmap clear, teens can focus on building experience safely and confidently. Section A, Chapter 4, The Examinations. Tennessee relies on 3 tests, vision, knowledge, and road skills, to prove you can drive safely. This chapter breaks down each exam and shows you how to prepare, what to bring, and what happens if you do not pass the first time. Vision screening. All applicants must achieve at least 20/40ths visual acuity in each eye and a 140-degree field of vision, with or without corrective lenses. Bring your regular glasses or contacts. Failing to wear needed correction adds a corrective lenses restriction to your license. If you cannot meet the standard, the Driver Services Medical Review Board may issue a restricted license or deny the application. Knowledge written test. The computer-based exam contains 30 multiple-choice questions drawn from the Tennessee Driver License Manual. A score of 80%, 24 correct, is required to pass, and you have 30 minutes to finish. You may take the test in English, Spanish, or Korean. Other language interpreters must be arranged beforehand. Fail 3 attempts, and you must wait 30 days before trying again. Study the manual and online practice tests to avoid delays. Road skills test. What to expect. Arrive 15 minutes early with a registered, insured vehicle that passes a quick safety inspection, lights, horn, tires, and windshield. The examiner will evaluate backing, parallel parking, lane changes, signaling, compliance with signs, and overall control. No coaching is allowed once the test begins. Only the examiner and applicant may occupy the vehicle unless an interpreter is pre-approved. Critical errors such as disobeying a stop sign or causing a crash result in automatic failure and a minimum 7-day retest wait. Vehicle Safety Inspection Checklist. Ensure headlights, brake lights, turn signals, windshield wipers, and horn operate correctly before the appointment. Tires must have safe tread depth and proper inflation. Cracked windshields or loose bumpers can disqualify the car. Bring current registration and proof of liability insurance. Photocopies or phone screenshots are acceptable only if fully legible. Retesting and waiting periods. First failure. Wait 1 full day before retaking the same examination. Use the time to review weak areas. Second failure. 7-day wait. Third failure. 30-day wait and possible driver improvement referral. Each retest requires paying the $3 testing fee. Schedule online to secure a convenient slot. Special accommodations and waivers. Hearing-impaired applicants may use certified interpreters who sign the examiner's instructions from the back seat. Applicants with learning disabilities can request extra time or audio versions of the knowledge test with medical documentation. Service members, veterans, and out-of-state college students may qualify for skills test waivers when license classes match. Motorcycle and CDL exam differences. Motorcycle riders must pass a separate knowledge test plus an on-cycle skills test assessing balance, quick stops, and obstacle avoidance. Commercial driver license applicants follow federal entry-level driver training and take vehicle class-specific pre-trip, basic control, and on-road exams. CDL skills tests must be performed in the representative vehicle class. Taking it in an automatic restricts you from manual shift rigs. Cheating and fraud penalties. Using study aids, phones, or receiving outside signals during any exam constitutes cheating and ends the test immediately. The attempt counts as a failure, and the applicant must wait 30 days to retest, paying all fees again. Submitting false documents or impersonating another applicant is a felony that can lead to arrest and permanent license denial. Chapter 4 Summary. Ace the Tennessee examinations by arriving prepared, following instructions, and driving confidently. With your tests behind you, you will be ready for the responsibilities and freedom of the open road. Section B, Chapter 1. Getting familiar with your vehicle. Before putting the key in the ignition, you must understand every control, safety device, and indicator your vehicle offers. This chapter shows how correct seating, mirror adjustment, and routine checks lay the foundation for confident, crash-free driving. Seating position and steering wheel. Adjust the seat so your hips are level with the steering wheel hub and you can press pedals without stretching. Tilt or telescope the wheel until it sits 10 to 12 inches from your chest, aimed at your shoulders, not your face. Hands at 9 and 3 o'clock reduce airbag injury risk and give maximum steering leverage. Mirrors and blind spot coverage. Set the inside mirror to frame the entire rear window. You should see the full width with a quick glance. Left mirror. Lean head to driver window, then adjust so the car's flank just disappears. Do the opposite on the right. Even with wide-angle settings, turn your head to check blind spots before lane changes. Seat belts, head restraints, and airbags. Wear lap belt low across hips and shoulder belt across chest, never tucked under the arm or behind back. Head restraint top should align with the top of your ears and sit no more than 3 inches from the back of your head. Sit at least 10 inches from the wheel. Never place rear-facing child seats in front of an active passenger airbag. Instrument panel and warning lights. Learn the shape and color of critical alerts. Red equals immediate stop, oil pressure, temperature, brake, yellow equals service soon. Gauge scans every few seconds help catch overheating or charging problems before they strand you. If an unknown light appears, check the owner's manual before continuing long distances. Primary vehicle controls. Right foot operates both accelerator and service brake. Rest the heel on the floor for smooth pressure. Know the gear selector positions park, reverse, neutral, drive, and lower gears for hill control. Parking brake holds the vehicle when parked and serves as emergency brake if hydraulics fail. Pre-drive inspection checklist. Walk around the car looking for fluid leaks, low tires, broken lights, or objects behind the wheels. Clean all glass, mirrors, and lights. Frost, fog, and mud hide hazards and attract citations. Secure loose cargo inside and out. Objects become deadly projectiles in sudden stops. Chapter 1 Summary. Correct setup, routine checks, and control awareness turn the vehicle into a predictable partner. Section V, Chapter 2. Tennessee Safety Belt Laws. Seat belts save lives, and in Tennessee, wearing them is the law. This chapter explains who must buckle up, how to secure children properly, and the penalties for ignoring these rules. Adult safety belt requirements. Tennessee's primary seatbelt law allows officers to stop drivers solely for not wearing a seatbelt. Drivers and front seat passengers age 16 and older must wear a properly adjusted lap and shoulder belt. Rear seat passengers 16 plus must also buckle up when riding with a driver who holds a learner or intermediate license. Child restraint law. Birth to 1 year or less than or equal to 20 pounds, rear-facing child safety seat in the back seat. 1 to 3 years and greater than 20 pounds, forward-facing seat with harness until seat's weight limit. 4 to 8 years and less than 4 feet 9 inches, booster seat with lap and shoulder belt. 9 to 15 years, adult belt in all seating positions. Drivers are responsible for ensuring every child passenger is properly restrained. Proper belt and booster use. Lap belt low across hips, not stomach. Shoulder belt across chest and collarbone, never behind back or underarm. Booster seats elevate children so the belt fits correctly. Backless boosters require head restraint behind the child. Never place a rear-facing seat in front of an active airbag. Deployments can be fatal to infants. Exceptions and medical exemptions. Vehicles manufactured before 1968, front, or 1970, rear, without belts are exempt. Postal carriers, newspaper delivery, utility meter readers, and waste collection drivers in frequent stop routes may go unbelted while on duty. Medical exemptions require a physician's signed statement carried in the vehicle and presented to law enforcement upon request. Penalties for noncompliance. First offense, adult seatbelt citation, $30 fine. Second offense, $55. Child restraint violations, $50 fine plus court costs. Second offense within 3 years adds mandatory child safety course. Failure to appear or pay fines can result in license suspension and additional fees. Myths versus facts. Myth: I don't need a belt on short trips. Fact: most fatal crashes occur within 25 miles of home at speeds under 45 miles per hour. Myth: belts trap you underwater or in fire. Fact: belts often keep you conscious to escape. Unbelted occupants may be knocked unconscious. Myth: airbags replace belts. Fact: airbags are designed to work with seat belts, not instead of them. Chapter 2 Summary. Buckle up, every seat, every trip. Tennessee's belt and child restraint laws protect lives, cut medical costs, and keep you on the right side of enforcement. Section V, Chapter 3, Traffic Signs and Signals. Road signs, signals, and pavement markings form a language that every driver must speak fluently. This chapter decodes their colors, shapes, and lights so you can react correctly in a split second. Sign shapes and colors. Quick ID. Octagon equals stop. Triangle equals yield. Vertical rectangle equals regulation. Diamond equals warning. Pennant equals no passing zone. Yellow signs warn of general hazards. Orange signs flag construction. White/red regulate. Green, blue, brown give guidance or services. Recognizing shape and color lets you prepare even before you read the words or symbols. Regulatory signs. Speed limit, lane use, turn prohibition, and parking signs carry the force of law. Obey them or face citations and points. Do not enter and wrong way signs mark dangerous lanes of opposing traffic. Turn around immediately. Stop fully behind the line at red octagons. Yield triangles require slowing and giving way when appropriate. Warning and advisory signs. Yellow diamonds alert to curves, merges, dips, animal crossings, and schools. Reduce speed and proceed with caution. Chevron alignment signs guide through sharp bends. Advisory speed plaques show the recommended safe speed beneath warnings. No passing pennants appear on the left side at the start of restricted zones on two-lane roads. Work zone signs and devices. Orange diamonds, cones, and drums channel traffic. Fines double for offenses in active work zones. Flagger symbol warns that a person will direct traffic. Obey instructions like any signal or sign. Striped barricades slant toward the direction traffic should pass. Down right means pass right. Guide, service, and recreation signs. Green guide signs give route numbers, exits, and distances. Read ahead to avoid last-second lane changes. Blue service signs point to gas, food, lodging, hospitals, and electric vehicle charging. Brown signs highlight parks, historic sites, and scenic areas. Expect slower tourist traffic nearby. Traffic signal basics. Green means go when clear. Yellow warns that red is coming. Red requires a full stop behind the stop line or crosswalk. Green arrow provides protected movement in the arrow direction. Opposing traffic sees red. Dark signals during outages function as four-way stops. Yield to the vehicle on your right. Flashing signals and arrows. Flashing red equals stop sign stop, then go when the path is clear. Flashing yellow equals caution. Proceed through the intersection while scanning for hazards. Flashing yellow arrow allows turns after yielding to oncoming traffic, pedestrians, and bikes. Lane control and ramp signals. Overhead lane signals show green arrows open or red XS closed on reversible lanes and tunnels. Ramp meters break freeway traffic into smaller gaps. Stop on red. Proceed on green like any light. White steady arrows over lanes indicate mandatory movements or exits ahead. Pedestrian, school, and RR signals. Walk symbol equals enter crosswalk. Flashing don't walk counts down. Finish crossing quickly. Red hand means do not start. Drivers must yield to anyone still in the crosswalk. At railroad crossings, flashing red lights and lowered gates require a stop at least 15 feet from tracks. Chapter 3 Summary. Master sign shapes, colors, and signal phases now, and you'll navigate Tennessee's roads with confidence and courtesy. Next up, Chapter 4 dives into navigating intersections and right-of-way rules. Section V, Chapter 4, Rules of the Road. Good drivers know the rules and anticipate when others might break them. This chapter distills Tennessee's right-of-way, speed, lane use, and special situation laws into clear, workable habits. Right-of-way fundamentals. At four-way stops, the first vehicle to arrive goes first. Ties yield to the driver on the right. When turning left, yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians until the path is clear. Yield to pedestrians in any marked or implied crosswalk, even if the light is green for you. Intersections and traffic circles. Slow on approach and be prepared for vehicles that fail to yield or signal. Roundabouts. Yield to traffic already circulating. Keep right of the center island and signal your exit. Do not block the box. Remain outside the intersection if you cannot clear it before the light changes. Lane use and changing lanes. Keep right except to pass on multi-lane roads. Lingering in the left lane impedes traffic and invites citations. Signal at least 100 feet, almost equals 5 blinks, before moving, and check mirrors plus blind spot every time. Solid white lines discourage lane changes. Double yellow lines forbid crossing except when turning left into a driveway. Passing safely. Pass only where a dashed yellow centerline permits, and you have at least 500 feet of clear oncoming view. Return to your lane only when both headlights of the passed vehicle appear in your mirror. Never pass on hills, curves, intersections, railroad crossings, or within school zones. Speed limits and adjustments. Tennessee default limits: 70 miles per hour rural interstates, 65 miles per hour urban interstates, 55 miles per hour other highways, 30 miles per hour urban streets. Reduce speed for weather, traffic, construction, and poor visibility, even below posted limits if conditions warrant. Driving too slowly can be as dangerous as speeding. Use the right lane and let faster traffic pass. Following distance and space cushion. Maintain a minimum 3-second gap in ideal conditions. Double it for rain, fog, or night driving. Count 1001 from when the vehicle ahead passes a fixed object to gauge spacing. If tailgate, ease off the accelerator slightly to create room ahead and invite the tailgater to pass. Stopping for school buses. On 2-lane and multi-lane undivided roads, all traffic must stop for red flashing lights and extended stop arm. On divided highways, only traffic moving in the same direction as the bus must stop. Remain stopped until the lights cease and the stop arm retracts. Watch for children crossing all lanes. Emergency vehicles and move over law. When lights or sirens approach, pull to the right edge of the roadway and stop until the vehicle passes. Move 1 full lane away from stopped emergency or service vehicles displaying flashing lights, or slow to a safe speed if you cannot merge. Following within 500 feet of an active emergency vehicle is illegal and dangerous. Railroad crossing rules. Stop at least 15 feet from tracks when lights flash or gates lower. Never drive around lowered gates. After one train passes, ensure a second track is clear before crossing. Buses and placarded hazmat trucks must always stop. Be ready for them to brake unexpectedly. Special situations and funeral processions. Vehicles in a funeral procession may proceed through red lights under police escort. Yield until the entire line has passed. Yield to road maintenance and utility crews with amber flashing lights. Treat them like work zone flaggers. Animals and horseback riders have road rights. Slow, give wide berth, and avoid sudden horn blasts. Chapter 4 Summary. Mastering right-of-way, speed, spacing, and special rules turns chaos into predictability on Tennessee roads. With these principles locked in, you can handle anything the highway throws your way. Section V, Chapter 5, Interstate Driving. Interstates move fast, heavy traffic across Tennessee and the nation. This chapter shows how to merge smoothly, maintain proper speed and spacing, and handle high-speed emergencies. Entering the interstate. Use the entrance ramp to match the speed of right-lane traffic. Merge without stopping. Signal early, check mirrors and blind spot. Yield to vehicles already on the freeway. Avoid crossing the solid white line at the gore point. Doing so can cause sideswipes and citations. Lane discipline and passing. Stay in the right lane except to pass. The center lane often flows more smoothly than the far left. Pass on the left, signal, check mirrors/blind spot, then return when both headlights of the passed car appear in your mirror. Continuous left lane cruising impedes traffic and may result in a ticket under Tennessee's slowpoke law. Speed management. Observe posted limits. Rural interstates up to 70 miles per hour. Urban sections often 55 to 65 miles per hour. Adjust speed for weather, heavy traffic, construction zones, and law enforcement activity. Use cruise control sparingly. Turn it off in rain, snow, or heavy traffic to maintain full control. Following distance and space cushion. Maintain at least a 4-second gap at interstate speeds. Increase to 6 seconds in rain or darkness. Count 1001 from when the vehicle ahead passes a fixed object to judge spacing. If tailgate, avoid brake checking. Keep right or gently reduce speed to encourage the driver to pass. Exiting safely. Signal at least a half mile before your exit. Move into the deceleration lane early. Reduce speed only after entering the exit ramp to avoid rear-end crashes on the main line. If you miss your exit, proceed to the next. Never stop, back up, or cross the median. Interstate hazards and emergencies. Watch for tire debris, stalled vehicles, and sudden slowdowns. Scan 15 seconds ahead. If you must stop, pull completely onto the shoulder. Activate flashers and stay inside with seat belt fastened. Use reflective triangles 200 to 500 feet behind if stopped for an extended period. Work zones and lane shifts. Orange signs and cones indicate reduced limits. Fines double for violations with workers present. Merge early when lanes close. Follow arrow boards and lane shift markings precisely. Stay alert for narrow lanes, uneven pavement, and construction vehicles entering the freeway. HOV and express lanes. High-occupancy vehicle lanes require 2 or more people or designated vehicles during posted hours. Cross the solid white line only at designated entry/exit points marked by broken lines. Violations carry hefty fines and negate the congestion relief benefits for compliant drivers. Chapter 5 Summary. Interstate driving demands smooth merges, disciplined lane use, and constant attention. Apply these practices and you'll navigate Tennessee's freeways safely and efficiently. Section B, Chapter 6, Driving at Night and in Inclement Weather. Reduced light, slick roads, and limited visibility demand special techniques. This chapter shows how to adjust speed, space, and equipment to stay safe after dark or when Tennessee's skies turn nasty. Night driving fundamentals. Turn on headlights from sunset to sunrise and when visibility falls below 500 feet. Reduce speed. Your headlight range limits the distance you can stop in time for hazards. Scan farther ahead and to the sides for deer, pedestrians, and bicyclists without reflectors. Speed. Your headlight range limits the distance you can stop in time for hazards. Managing glare and visibility. Dim high beams within 500 feet of oncoming cars and 200 feet when following another vehicle. Look toward the right edge line, not directly at oncoming lights, to avoid temporary blindness. Keep windshield, mirrors, and headlights clean inside and out. Dirt scatters light and doubles glare. Rain and hydroplaning. First rain lifts oil, slow 5 to 10 miles per hour and increase following distance during the first 30 minutes. Turn on headlights and wipers. Tennessee law requires lights whenever wipers operate continuously. If hydroplaning, ease off the accelerator, keep wheels straight, and steer gently once traction returns. Fog and reduced visibility. Use low beams. High beams reflect off water droplets and worsen glare. Slow enough to stop within visible distance. Pull off the roadway if visibility drops near zero. Use defroster and AC together to keep interior windows clear of condensation. Snow, ice, and freezing rain. Accelerate and brake gently to avoid wheel spin. Quadruple following distance on slick surfaces. Bridges and overpasses freeze first even when adjacent pavement appears wet. Approach with caution. Clear all snow and ice from roof, hood and lights. Flying chunks are dangerous and illegal. High wind and thunderstorms. Grip the wheel firmly. Gusts can push high-profile vehicles into adjacent lanes. Reduce speed and be prepared for standing water that hides potholes or debris. If lightning is extreme, pull into a safe area. Remain in the car. Metal body offers protection. Vehicle prep and emergency kit. Check tire tread and pressure monthly. Good tires maintain grip on wet and icy roads. Replace wipers every 6 months and keep washer reservoir full of antifreeze-rated fluid. Carry flashlight, blanket, water, jumper cables, traction mats, or sand and reflective triangles in winter. Chapter 6 Summary. Night and bad weather driving requires slower speeds, longer gaps, and sharper visibility habits. Apply these strategies and you'll handle Tennessee's darkest, wettest roads with confidence. Section B, Chapter 7, Alcohol, Other Drugs, and Driving. This chapter explores how alcohol and other drugs impair driving ability and outlines Tennessee's strict laws against impaired driving. Use the slides ahead to master the facts, penalties, and smart choices that keep you and others safe on the road. Impaired driving. Tennessee dedicates at least 1/4 of the driver knowledge test to impaired driving questions, underscoring its importance. Driving under the influence remains a leading cause of highway trauma and demands every motorist's attention. Understanding impairment is the first step toward avoiding tragic and costly crashes. Alcohol and you. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., roughly 1 in 10 drivers on the road is legally intoxicated. Nearly half of DUI arrests involve social or moderate drinkers who underestimated their impairment. Statistically, most drivers will face involvement in an alcohol-related crash at some point in their lifetime. An overview of the effects of alcohol. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant that begins affecting the body within minutes of consumption. Even small amounts distort perception, judgment, and reaction times essential for safe driving. Grasping these physiological effects explains why alcohol-related fatalities remain high. How does alcohol affect the body? Alcohol enters the bloodstream within 1 to 2 minutes and accumulates faster than the liver can oxidize it. Because the liver processes only about 1 drink per hour, excess drinking quickly pushes drivers into intoxication. No coffee, exercise, or cold shower speeds sobering. Only time reduces blood alcohol levels. What is blood alcohol concentration, BAC? BAC measures the percentage of alcohol in the bloodstream, with 0.08% illegal for drivers 21 and older. BAC rises with each drink, body weight differences, drinking rate, and the presence or absence of food. A higher BAC directly correlates with increased crash risk and heavier legal penalties. Relationship of alcohol to traffic crashes. At 0.10 BAC, you are 7 times more likely to cause a crash than when sober. A 0.15 BAC multiplies crash risk 25-fold, while 0.17 BAC drives risk up to 50 times. Research shows impairment of judgment and vision starts as low as 0.03 BAC, especially among younger drivers. Alcohol's effects on driving ability. Safe driving depends on alertness, clear vision, quick reflexes, and sound judgment, all degraded by alcohol. The 2 abilities most crucial for driving, judgment, and vision, suffer noticeably after a single drink. Additional drinks progressively erode reaction time, coordination, concentration, and decision-making. Judgment. Impaired judgment leads drivers to take needless risks such as speeding or unsafe passing. Alcohol lowers concern for personal safety, increasing the likelihood of reckless maneuvers and show-off behavior. Poor decision-making under alcohol often precedes serious or fatal collisions. Vision. Alcohol relaxes eye muscles, reducing clarity, peripheral vision, and depth perception. Side vision can contract by about 30% at 0.05 BAC, heightening head-on and rear-end collision danger. Glare recovery slows, making night driving especially hazardous for impaired drivers. Reaction time and coordination. Even a 0.02 BAC lengthens response time to hazards and degrades hand-eye-foot coordination. Complex tasks like steering smoothly and braking precisely become dramatically harder as BAC climbs. Delayed reactions mean less distance to avoid obstacles, increasing crash severity. Alertness and concentration. Alcohol slows nerve impulses, reducing a driver's ability to stay focused on ever-changing traffic. False feelings of stimulation mask the depressant's dulling impact on mental processing. Loss of concentration can make a simple situation unexpectedly deadly. Everyday drugs. Combining alcohol with prescription or over-the-counter medications multiplies impairing effects. Common cold medicines, antihistamines, and some pain relievers can cause drowsiness or slowed reactions. Always read labels and consult medical professionals before driving after taking any medication. Driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Tennessee law prohibits driving while impaired by any intoxicant, narcotic, or marijuana, even with a BAC of 0.00. Observed erratic behavior or improper speed gives officers probable cause to investigate for DUI. Conviction penalties are identical whether impairment stems from alcohol, illegal drugs, or prescribed medications. Implied consent law. By operating a vehicle in Tennessee, drivers consent to chemical testing for alcohol or drugs when lawfully requested. Refusing the test typically triggers a mandatory 12-month license suspension imposed by the court. The 2012 No Refusal statute allows officers to obtain search warrants swiftly for blood samples from suspected impaired drivers. Consequences of a DUI arrest. A DUI arrest can lead to jail time, significant fines, license revocation, and potential vehicle seizure. Costs mount through attorney fees, bond, lost wages, alcohol safety courses, and soaring insurance premiums. Long-term impacts include criminal record, job limitations, and mandatory ignition interlock devices. Penalties applying to any DUI conviction. First convictions carry at least 48 hours in jail, fines from $350 to $1,500, and a 1-year license suspension. Subsequent convictions escalate jail time, fines up to $15,000, multi-year revocations, and vehicle forfeiture. All convictions may require alcohol treatment programs and installation of ignition interlocks. Young driver risks and laws. Drivers under 21 face stricter limits, a BAC of 0.02 or evidence of any impairment triggers underage DUI. Possessing or attempting to purchase alcohol at ages 18 to 20 results in a minimum 1-year license loss. Juvenile offenders can lose driving privileges until age 17 or longer for repeat violations. Prevention of drinking and driving. Plan ahead by designating a sober driver or arranging alternate transportation before drinking begins. Travel to events in groups and hand keys to someone who pledges to remain alcohol-free. Simply saying "No thanks, I'm driving" protects you, your friends, and everyone on the road. Section 7 Summary. You now know how alcohol, drugs, and Tennessee law intersect to protect all road users. Up next, Chapter 8 explores broader driving responsibilities that keep your license and life on the right track. Section V, Chapter 8, Driving Responsibility. Driving is a privilege, one that can be lost through careless choices. This chapter explains Tennessee's points, insurance, and financial responsibility laws, so you know exactly what's at stake. Financial responsibility and insurance. You must carry minimum liability coverage, $30,000 bodily injury per person, $60,000 per crash, $15,000 property damage. Officers may request electronic or paper proof at any stop, failure to show proof risk citation and fines. Lapses trigger registration suspension and civil penalties, reinstate by paying fees and filing SR22 for 3 years. SR22 and high-risk drivers. SR2 is a certificate of future proof of financial responsibility filed by your insurer with the DOS. Required after DUI, uninsured crashes, excessive points, or court judgments, maintain continuously for 3 years. Any cancellation before the period ends suspends your license and restarts the clock once coverage resumes. Tennessee Points System. Moving violations add 1 to 8 points to your record for 2 years, 12 plus points, 6 for minors, in 12 months triggers action. Examples: speeding 1 to 5 miles per hour over equals 1 point, reckless driving equals 6, passing stop school bus equals 8. Completing a state-approved driver improvement course can erase up to 4 points once every 5 years. Driver Improvement Program and Suspensions. Accumulating 12 points mails a hearing notice. Failure to respond results in automatic suspension. At the hearing, drivers may accept a 6-month suspension or elect to complete the driver improvement course. 3 serious offenses in 1 year can lead to a 12-month revocation regardless of point total. Revocations and cancellations. Revocation wipes driving privileges. Reapply like a new applicant after serving the term and paying fees. Cancellation voids a license issued in error, common for unverifiable identification or medical disqualification. Driving while revoked or canceled escalates to criminal charges and possible vehicle seizure. Crash reporting and liability. If a crash causes injury, death, or property damage greater than or equal to $400, you must file an owner/driver report within 20 days. Failure to report or provide proof of insurance leads to license suspension until obligations are met. Your insurer may raise premiums or drop coverage after at-fault crashes. Drive defensively to avoid costs. Safety, responsibility, and damage judgments. Drivers without insurance who cause a crash may face license suspension until damages are repaid in full. Courts can garnish wages and seize assets to satisfy unpaid judgments. Financial consequences outlast license loss. Carrying adequate insurance and avoiding high-risk behavior protects your finances and driving privilege. Littering and roadway debris. Throwing trash or allowing cargo to fall from a vehicle incurs fines up to $1,500 and mandatory roadside cleanup. Items creating hazards like furniture or construction debris can trigger additional reckless driving charges. Secure all loads with straps or netting and keep a litter bag inside the vehicle. Chapter 8 Summary. Insurance, points, fines, and fees. Tennessee makes sure responsibility follows the steering wheel. Protect your wallet and your license. Drive legal. Drive alert. Section C, Chapter 1, Defensive Driving and Road Rage. Defensive driving means anticipating mistakes, yours and everyone else's, before they turn into collisions. This chapter teaches proactive scanning, safe spacing, and calm responses that diffuse dangerous road rage. Core principles of defensive driving. Act I see the risk early. Scan 12 to 15 seconds ahead and check mirrors every 5 to 8 seconds. Understand the defense. Maintain a space cushion so you can brake or steer clear of trouble. End time. Make smooth, decisive moves, no sudden swerves or panic stops. Maintaining a space cushion. Use the 3-second rule in good weather. Double to 6 seconds in rain, fog, or night driving. Leave a 1-car length gap for every 10 miles per hour when stopped behind another vehicle. If boxed in, adjust speed to open escape routes to the sides or ahead. Communicating intentions. Signal at least 100 feet before turns or lane changes. Continue signaling through the maneuver. Tap brakes to warn following drivers when slowing unexpectedly. Use headlights, horn, and hazard flashers as courteous warnings, not weapons. Adjusting for conditions. Reduce speed 5 to 10 miles per hour on wet roads and even more for snow or gravel. Turn on low beams in rain or gray daylight, see and be seen. Increase following gap behind large trucks and motorcyclists. They stop and maneuver differently. Understanding road rage triggers. Common catalysts: heavy traffic, running late, anonymity, and perceived discourtesy. Cutting off, tailgating, and obscene gestures escalate stress into aggression. Plan extra travel time and practice empathy. Assume the other driver's mistake was unintentional. Avoiding aggressive drivers. Stay calm. Do not return honks, gestures, or eye contact. Let the aggressor pass. Keep doors locked and windows up. If followed, drive to the nearest police station or well-lit public area and call 911. Keeping your cool behind the wheel. Set climate controls and music before moving. Avoid heated phone calls while driving. Take deep breaths at red lights. Loosen grip on the wheel to release tension. Celebrate courteous acts. Wave a thank you when others yield. Fatigue and distraction management. Stop every 2 hours on long trips. Share driving or grab a 15-minute power nap. Shift your eyes and stretch while stopped in traffic to stay alert. Silence notifications and secure loose items so your mind stays on the road. Chapter 1 Summary. Scan, space, signal, and stay serene. Follow these defensive driving pillars and road rage will bounce off you like rain on a well-waxed windshield. Section C, Chapter 2, Special Driving Conditions and Your Vehicle. Steep hills, mechanical failures, and trailer towing push your driving skills and your vehicle to the edge. This chapter prepares you for those high-stress moments so you keep control when others lose it. Mountain and steep grade driving. Shift to lower gear before descending long grades. Engine braking prevents overheated brakes. Stay in the right lane, give trucks extra space, and use pullouts to let faster traffic pass. Approach hairpin curves at a speed that lets you stop within your line of sight. Managing skids. If rear tires skid, fishtail, steer in the direction you want the front to go and ease off the gas. For front wheel skid, release accelerator and steer toward your intended path until traction returns. Avoid slamming brakes. Locked wheels extend skid distance and kill steering control. Brake failure or fade. Pump the brake pedal rapidly to build pressure. Downshift to lower gear for engine drag. Gradually apply parking brake to slow. Be ready for rear wheel lock and steer straight. Aim for an open shoulder or ramp. Rub tires against curb or guardrail only as last resort. Aim for an open shoulder or ramp. Rub tires against curb or guardrail only as last resort. Grip wheel firmly, ease off accelerator, and steer straight. Do not brake hard. Allow speed to drop below 20 miles per hour, signal, and pull off the road as far as practical. Turn on flashers, set triangles 200 to 300 feet behind and change tire only in a safe area. Power steering or engine failure. If power steering fails, steering becomes heavy but still works. Apply strong input and coast to shoulder. Engine stalls remove power assist to brakes. Press harder but steadily and shift to neutral to roll safely off roadway. Turn on hazard flashers immediately to alert following drivers. Headlight failure at night. Switch headlight control or dimmer. Sometimes another setting restores lights. If lights remain out, turn on flashers, edge to right shoulder and stop. Use moonlight or roadside reflectors to guide. Carry a flashlight in the glove box for emergency visibility. Driving with trailers and towing. Distribute cargo weight 60% ahead of trailer axle. Secure load with straps or netting. Increase following distance to 5 seconds. Trailers lengthen stopping distance and hide hazards. When backing, place one hand at bottom of wheel. Move hand left to steer trailer left and vice versa. Vehicle fire or overheating. If smoke or flames appear, steer to shoulder, switch off ignition, and evacuate everyone 100 feet upwind. Do not open hood fully. Oxygen surge intensifies flames. Use extinguisher through small gap if safe. For overheating only, turn off AC, turn heater to max, and pull over when gauge enters red zone. Flooded roadways and standing water. Never attempt water crossing. If depth exceeds bottom of rims or road is closed, turn around. Don't drown. Enter shallow water slowly, 1-2 mph. Maintain steady throttle to create bow wave. Test brakes lightly after exiting water to restore friction surfaces. Chapter 2 Summary. Expect the unexpected. Mechanical failures, mountain grades, and sudden storms test every driver. With these tactics on standby, you and your vehicle stay ready for whatever Tennessee's roads deliver. Section C. Chapter 3. Sharing the road safely. Tennessee highways carry a mix of pedestrians, bikes, motorcycles, big rigs, and farm machinery. Mastering safe sharing habits keeps all road users alive and traffic flowing. Pedestrians. Yield to walkers in marked and unmarked crosswalks even when you have the green light. Stop well before the crosswalk so drivers in other lanes can see crossing pedestrians. Watch for children near schools and buses. Expect sudden dart-outs in residential areas. Bicyclists. Provide at least a 3-foot clearance when passing. Move fully into the adjacent lane when possible. Expect cyclists to take the full lane to avoid debris or parked car doors. This is legal and safer. Before turning right, check mirrors and blind spot for a bike overtaking on the shoulder. Motorcycles and scooters. Give motorcycles a full lane. Do not crowd or share lanes side by side. Look twice at intersections. Small profiles hide behind windshield pillars and other traffic. Maintain at least a 4-second following distance. Bikes stop quicker than cars. Large trucks and buses. Avoid the 4 no zones directly behind, in front, and along each side where the driver cannot see you. Cutting in front of a truck steals its stopping distance. Wait until you see the entire grille in your mirror. Expect wide right turns. If a truck swings left, never wedge between it and the curb. Emergency and service vehicles. Pull to the right edge and stop for approaching lights/sirens. Resume only when clear. Move 1 full lane away from stopped emergency, DOT or utility trucks with flashing lights, or slow to a safe speed if unable. Following within 500 feet of an active emergency vehicle is illegal and dangerous. School buses. On 2-lane and multi-lane undivided roads, all traffic must stop for red flashing lights and extended stop arm. On divided highways, only traffic behind the bus stops. Oncoming lanes proceed cautiously. Remain stopped until lights cease and armor tracks. Watch for children crossing all lanes. Slow-moving and farm equipment. Orange triangular emblem marks vehicles traveling less than or equal to 25 miles per hour. Reduce speed and increase following distance. Farm equipment often makes wide turns or straddles the centerline. Pass only on long, clear straightaways. Horse-drawn buggies require extra patience. Cut engine noise and pass with at least 1 full lane of clearance. Railroad crossings. Stop 15 feet from tracks when lights flash, gates lower, or a train is visible. Never drive around lowered gates. After a train passes, ensure a second track is clear before crossing. School buses and hazmat trucks always stop. Anticipate their braking. Animals and livestock. In rural areas, reduce speed at dawn and dusk when deer are most active. Scan road edges for movement. Slow for horseback riders. Sudden horn blasts can spook animals and cause accidents. If you strike a large animal, pull over safely and call law enforcement. Injured wildlife is dangerous. Chapter 3 Summary. Patience, space, and anticipation keep Tennessee's roads safe for everyone, whether they travel on foot, 2 wheels, or 18. Carry these sharing skills into every drive. Section C, Chapter 4, Helping Teens and New Drivers Learn to Drive. Guiding a beginner behind the wheel can be rewarding and nerve-wracking. This chapter gives parents and mentors a roadmap for structured practice, calm coaching, and lifelong safe habits. Setting up a practice plan. Schedule short, frequent sessions, 30 to 45 minutes, 2 to 3 times per week. Build skills without overload. Start in empty parking lots, progress to quiet streets, then increase traffic complexity as confidence grows. Log each session's goals and milestones. Tennessee requires 50 practice hours, including 10 at night. Modeling safe behavior. Demonstrate seatbelt use, full stops, and proper signaling on every trip. Teens copy what they see. Silence phones and avoid aggressive commentary. A calm cabin fosters focused learning. Praise specific good habits. Great mirror check before lane change to reinforce technique. Coaching tips for in-car practice. Use a steady, low voice. Give instructions one step at a time. Slow to 20. Check mirrors. Ease right. Anticipate hazards allowed to teach scanning. Light ahead. Just turned yellow. Cover the brake. Keep hands off wheel and controls unless intervention is critical. Build the teen's responsibility. Managing common fears and mistakes. If the learner panics, ask them to stop safely and breathe, review what happened, and restart slowly. Practice right turns repeatedly before tackling challenging left turns across traffic. Use reference points for parking and backing. Cones help visualize vehicle corners. Graduated license compliance. Ensure the teen carries the learner permit or intermediate license at all times. Follow curfew and passenger limits. Violations reset the clean record clock and raise insurance premiums. Schedule the road test only after consistent confidence in varied conditions: day, night, rain, and heavy traffic. Chapter 4 Summary. Structured practice, positive modeling, and patient coaching turn nervous beginners into safe, confident drivers. Your guidance today shapes Tennessee's road safety tomorrow.